Hello and welcome to It's Only Electric. Today we have a Renault Megane EV60 E-tech. This is a fully electric version, of course, with the 60 kilowatt hours battery. This is the big battery in this car. So an NMC battery with 60 kilowatt hours gross capacity and 55 kilowatt hours of net capacity. It has a VLTP range of 450 kilometers. As you see, it's a great red color. It's called Flame Red. Brilliant color, I think. Suits the car very well, together with these nice black accents all over the car. Looks really good. You see the lights. This car is running on the Techno package, so it's not the base version, it's the middle version, you can say. And it has the bigger wheels. With 20-inch wheels. This car is currently running Nokian Hakka R3 winter tires. It's Nordic or Scandinavian studless tires. So not the same performance as during summers. The car is in the same class as the Volkswagen ID.3 and almost exactly the same size of the car. So the total length is 4.2 meters and the wheelbase is 2.68 meters. This car is lighter than the other cars in the same segment. It's 1,650 kilograms, so that's good. They have used a lot of plastics to keep the weight down. And of course that gives this car a VLTP range that's better than the other cars in the segment. And when it comes to charging, this car has a DC charging capacity of 130 kilowatt and a AC charging capacity of 22 kilowatt is really good. I think it's best in the segment. Normally it's around 11, so expect good home charging times. A bit of a strange placement on the right front fender. I would want to have it on the left back fender. I think that's better when charging. It is a front wheel drive car. So only front wheel drive on this version and all Megane E-techs. And this specific version is the high power version and it has 220 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. It does 0 to 100 in 7.3 seconds and has a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. So it's more or less in the middle in the segment. Front wheel drive. I think it's easier to build front-wheel drive cars when you have the engine or the motor in the front. So that's probably why they're used to build front-wheel drive cars. This flame red combination together with the black roof gives the car a very sporty look. And it has very big wheel arches and wheels, so the car looks more sporty than the other cars in the segment. I really like it. It's a bit of a SUV-ish look, but it's not an SUV, it's a compact car. But I think they have kept the design modern and for younger people. I really like it. Can it be the best looking car in the segment? I think so. To keep the drag coefficient to a minimum, as the other cars, they are working with flush handles that opens when you unlock the car. So it's a handy function and it looks good. I think it's much easier to open than, for instance, a Tesla car, because get a good grip and it folds out and folds in automatically. At the back door, you have this classic Renault Clio opening. They have hidden the opening latch up here. There is no light here during nighttime, so it's a bit hard to find it if you're not used to this kind of openers. So this is the back end of the car. A nice lights, integrated logo in the middle. They have switched the traditional Megane E to electric E. And here's the opener of the trunk. I wonder what will happen to this one when the rain pours down during a cold night and it freezes to ice. Maybe it will get stuck. 440 liters, that's a good capacity in this class. Better than the other cars in the segment. You have a foldable back seat, 60/40, so that's practical. And you have some extra compartment here to store electric cables, charging cables, etc. And it fits a lot. And you have a max load of this compartment of 10 kilograms. But that will be more than enough. Don't put your kids in here. And as you see, there is no power liftgate, so a manual liftgate. So now to the interior. Nice and tidy cabin, modern and young at the same time, with a nice inlay of fabrics, ambient lighting, both in the panel and in the front doors. You have a nice cockpit consisting of 2 screens. Both screens are actually 12-inch, so this is the bigger screen on this car. The standard variant is in a 10-inch version. I think you should go for the 12-inch, of course. This one is also running on Android Automotive. This car is running the Techno package, which means that you have an extra 360 view, parking view. You also get the park assist functionality with cameras all around the car and sensors to make the parking easier. You also get a bit better sound system. Not as good as I hoped for though. The iconic version, the top spec version of this car, is running on Harman Kardon sound system. That one is much better. If sound is important for you, if music is important for you, go for the Harman Kardon sound system on the iconic variant of this car. It's a bit more expensive, but if sound is important, go for that one. When looking at the door panels, there's a nice flow going together with the front panel. You have nice like Alcantara inlet on top, and then a softer plastic variant on the side, and piano black door opener, and some, is it yellow or green stitching? I'm colorblind, so I don't know. There's 4 USB ports in this car, USB-C ports, so that's a good. You have one underneath this armrest at the front and 2 at the back. Underneath the screen, you have a very cramped area for a QI charger. It's always good to have QI chargers, but the placing of this one it's a bit cramped here. I have big hands, so it's hard to reach the phone and to take it out. The entertainment system is running on Android Automotive. That's always good. For you guys that have watched my earlier videos, I really love the Android Automotive system. I think it's a lot better than the car brand trying to do their own operating systems. That's a hard thing to do. You have a built-in Google Assistant.
Sorry, I don't understand.
She didn't understand, that's strange. Of course, Bluetooth connectivity, and a great thing is that you have Google Maps. And you can change the view in the central instrument cluster by clicking the view button on the steering wheel, and you get a full screen navigation application on the screen. So that's really great. You can always keep your eyes on the road with this navigation integration. And you of course also have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. So that's a good integration for you guys that are used to those applications. And that means that you can run almost everything on this car. It has built-in Google Maps, as I just showed you. You have the Google Assistant, calendar, you have the Play Store to download the other applications. You have a built-in phone application, of course. So I'm sitting in my driver position where I feel comfortable. There is plenty of space in this car, good enough for me, and I'm tall, so that's good. There is manual seat, no power seats on this car, so you adjust your seat manually, but you have an electric lumbar support. You can adjust the lumbar. So the seats are good, Not that supportive, more of a flat variant. You don't have that good side support, neither on the seating position and on the backrest. So don't expect any performance driving with this car. So now I'm gonna sit behind myself. The front seat is adjusted after my liking. So now let's try the back seat. It's a bit cramped here. As you see, my knees are clearly touching the front seat, the backrest of the front seat. And there is one big issue and one big flaw when they designed these seats or this interior of the car. My feet don't fit. I have a hard time placing my feet underneath the front seat because the space underneath the front seat is like 3 or 4 centimeters, maybe 5. So I have a hard time fitting my feet. So the back seat is not the biggest in the class. The headroom is good enough. It doesn't touch the roof, so it's okay. But you will have a hard time fitting 3 adults in the back seat, for sure. So this is more or less a car built for 2 adults in the back seat. I put in sports mode in the car. The mode selector is very conveniently placed, and it behaves very different depending on which mode you have selected. So the eco mode, the feeling is like that someone is holding your back and dragging you backwards. So you're really struggling to accelerate and drive. The car feels heavier. The gas pedal is not as responsive, not even near the comfort or sport mode. So that's the feeling I get. Then when you switch it to sports mode, you really unleash the car. It feels a lot more quick. It feels like someone is releasing you, like a bullet. You feel like a ton lighter. So it's really like a releasing feeling to switch to comfort or especially sports mode. Let's put in sports mode again. Oh, it's a great difference. I mean, the acceleration pedal is pretty aggressive when using sports mode, and you really feel the difference. And it's really punchy. In speeds above like 50 kilometers per hour, it really flies off. You almost get that instant Tesla acceleration feeling when you drive it. It's not even close to the Volkswagen ID.3. The ID.3 is a lot more fine-tuned and sophisticated and not as punchy as this one. This is a lot more fun to drive. And it also gives me a wheel spin at 90. That's nice. So there's more than enough torque in this car. It's a good amount, 220 horsepower, 300 Newton meters of torque. Sports mode. Nice grip, low point of gravity. Really fun to drive. It's like a go-kart, but a silent go-kart. Man, this is much more fun to drive than my ID.3. It's a big difference. That one is rear wheel drive, but still. It is not every day that a front wheel drive car outperforms a rear wheel drive car when it comes to driving fun. Oh. Plenty of power. And I'm amazed of how silent it is. And the suspension, sophisticated and comfortable, but still fun to drive. So it has a great sound insulation, soundproofing. The majority of the sound pollution or noise actually comes from the windows, not from the car itself. So the lower parts of the doors and the floor are silent and well insulated. Good soundproofing. Oh! I mean, I can do this all day. It's one of the most exciting front-wheel drive cars I have ever driven. And it's an electric car. Inspiring. Despite its weight, it feels nimble, it feels... Yeah. I mean, you feel that it is a 1.6 ton car, but it still feels a lot more nimble than the ID3, for instance. This is on par with the MG4. I think this is even more fun than the MG4. This beats the MG4. So when it comes to driving fun, driving experience, having fun with the car, this clearly is best in class. No doubt about that. This is the most fun car to drive in the class. The only downside is that you lose a lot of grip due to the high torque in lower speeds or from standstill. I mean, it spins all the way up to 100 kilometers per hour. But that's on damped roads and with winter tires, so keep that in mind. It will get much better on in higher temperatures, summer tires, totally dry roads. Will be even more fun to drive. But at the same time, the silence makes it calming somehow. So if I switch it to comfort and just cruise around, exhale, look at the views, enjoy the view, listen to some fine music, and just relax. That's a good thing with electric cars that have enough horsepower for their weight. The acceleration is immediate and great. The low gravity of the car, the battery in the bottom of the car makes the car stay to the ground and stay to the road. It's easy to handle the car. On the other hand, it's very calming to take the car on a Sunday drive. The sound insulation, the low noise level, the comfortable suspension makes it like good for a Sunday driving too. I'm actually releasing another video on this car where I'm comparing it with the Volkswagen ID3. It's two very comparable cars that's playing in the same segment, both when it comes to price, consumption, etc. So I'm doing a real-world test on both cars where I'm testing consumption, acceleration, and also things like noise level. So stay tuned for that video coming in a couple of days. But all in all, to summarize, I think this is one of the best cars you can get in this segment. It's not a cheap car, it's pretty expensive. It's exactly the same price as comparable models from Volkswagen, for instance. The only cheaper car in this segment is probably the MG4. That's a lot cheaper, but that's not the same type of car. That's more of a budget car than this one. I think that summarizes it all. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to create more content like this for you guys. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon.